Hi, good morning, everyone. This is the Economic Development Committee meeting on Tuesday, March 16th, 2021. It's 10:36 a.m. Would like to open up the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. So I'm just going to open up the agenda here. Like I said, well, in the meeting notes, I put a placeholder here for Kerry Salwa from the CMRPC. If hopefully, well, it appears we will be paired up with CMRPC for the rapid program with the state of Massachusetts. And Kerry was hoping to be prepared and we could kick off our journey here to help the town of Dudley on identifying some key projects that could help to facilitate and accelerate, businesses coming back online, new businesses, whatever, whatever, we, the town and the consultant CRMPC identify as projects to promote business activity in the town of Dudley. It's a very, hence the name, the RAPID program. It's a 6-month endeavor. It's now been extended. Well, I say extended. It's really, the kickoff was delayed a month, so now it's going into August to have projects identified. I don't know. I know Bill was able to attend the conference call this last week, put on by the state. I don't know. Was anybody else able to attend? No. So this is so Bill. Like he mentioned to us, we were granted $30,000 to work with CRMPC in this study effort. And then they are sensitive, the folks who are facilitating it, and Bill, you can elaborate on it, but they're sensitive and understand that monies will have to follow this initiative, 6-month initiative. And so stay tuned what that would potentially look like, but it was discussed at the call. And the anticipation is that there will be some monies there to fund some of the projects, but we're one of 125 towns who were awarded these monies to work with a consultant throughout the Commonwealth, and across the state in its entirety. So it appears, well organized, and, the matchup has been made. And I think, just to give everybody a heads up at this point, that honestly, and I'll put this out there for discussion, I think having these monthly meetings will probably not going to function within this framework on this particular day every month. We may have to have meetings, scheduled, maybe a week in advance, and we'll have to get together. I don't know. I put that out because I don't know how this framework is going to work as far as this program to be successful. And that's just my initial thoughts. And I don't know, what you guys, how you feel about that. But if the way I understand it, we're the quarterbacks for this program with the town of Dudley, obviously with Bill's leadership. But I think there's going to be some, you know, some expectations on our part to help along the way here, and I don't quite know what that's going to entail, but I just think, you know, our schedule's not going to fit that schedule very well.
Yeah.
So
Understood.
Hey, it is what it is. If we have to meet sooner or more frequently or whatever, then that's fine. And I'm sure that there'll be some sort of pattern, and we'll be able to lay out a timeline so we can make sure that we have people attend. Because this is a scheduled meeting and we have difficulty getting people here. So I think it's super important to know in advance how frequently we need to meet. And if we can identify what that schedule looks like, then obviously that'll be very important to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, you know, yeah, we're having a tough time getting people here and participating and contributing. And, you know, I don't know. I'm hopeful that we'll be successful and do our part. And I know I'm going to do my best. And, you know, I'm hopeful that this whole committee will do their best and make an extra effort for the next 6 months. But yeah, I mean, it's been a challenge. It's, you know, I put it on record. I mean, it's very tiring to try to get people to participate. You know, it really sucks away from the actual progression of activities in the town when you have to keep working on attendance and getting people to show up. You know, it's continues to be this more of the same, right? Second year and we're still having challenges. So with that said, I mean, I do have somebody who's interested in participating on the committee. I'm trying to set up a phone call with her and talk to her. She's been after me the last week or so. We just been passing by I don't know anything about her yet, but at least they're, you know, I think it's part of the letters, PJ, that this person, you know, is raised their hand. And so, you know, if we could get another member on the committee, I think that would be, you know, very good for all of us. So I don't know. I don't have a whole lot more to talk about today, only because, you know, I was kind of queuing this up for Kerry and kind of kicking this thing off, but we may be, you know, we may be a week too soon at this point. I think, you know, she'll probably need, you know, the next 5 to 10 days to kind of, they're getting trained. You know, the state is having phone calls with all the consultants and getting them all trained up. And then I think, you know, they'll be prepared to actually kind of lay it out with us and put a path moving forward. So I guess, you know, Bill, would you like to chat a little bit about maybe updates on kind of what's going on in your world that may be pertinent for us?
Sure. Just to follow up on your LRRP comments, Brian, we now know that there's sort of a standardized approach to this process that all the participating communities will follow. They have the first step will be a survey. And there's a standard survey form that the state has prepared that all the towns will use. I don't want to step on Carrie's toes here because she's the one who will be coordinating it, you know, for the town. But they have the standard survey form. They've also prepared some standard outreach materials, some flyers and brochures, things of that sort, to publicize the survey techniques to get the word out, to encourage people to apply, that sort of thing. So the advantage of a one survey for everybody is that we can compare our town with every other town in the Commonwealth, and the state people will be able to detect patterns and recognize common themes and help, you know, communities deal with those on a, you know, on an as needed basis. The state will also have what they call some subject matter experts who will be available to each community to consult with on the projects that are within their particular area of expertise. So as we go through the planning process, we identify particular issues and concerns, and we'll be able to tap into those subject matter experts who will be able to coach the town on ways to deal with those issues. And as Brian mentioned, develop recommendations that can be worked on in the succeeding years. So it's a very interesting process. Kerry will need a list of businesses in town. So I know we just went through that with PJ's letter, so that's very timely. We'll probably want to send that up to her and supplement that as best we can. The state would like to use email addresses as the primary form for completing the survey. So there'll be a link that people can go to complete the survey either on their phone or on their computer. So they're making it very easy for people to fill it out. But if people don't have access to computers or don't feel comfortable with the technology, they can still do a mail survey, and then we can get that to them so that they can do that by hand. So that's just sort of the opening round that I'm aware of at this point. So I think once Kerry gets fully trained, and Brian, as you mentioned, we might want to set up another Zoom call with her to get the survey rolled out, figure out how we're going to do that. So, Mark, through the chamber, you might have an ability to access email information from businesses. Todd, you probably are the same way. I don't know how comfortable you feel sharing some of that information with Kerry for the survey purposes. But I think everybody on the committee has a lot of contacts that they can, provide to me and or Kerry to help fill out the list of businesses to fill out the survey. So I think we can get a pretty good response if we all sort of put our heads together and figure out how we're gonna reach out to folks.
Bill, is it, I'm sorry, can I interrupt for just a moment?
Yeah, sure.
Is it premature to try to put something in the Telegram and Gazette or let the Yankee, SWAT, whatever those different magazines are in town to let people know that this opportunity is presenting itself?
Yeah, I think we'll want to do that, PJ. The state, has given us, samples that we can use. I think I'd sort of let Kerry work on that when she comes on board so that she can be the overall coordinator with the outreach effort. So I think it's a great idea, and we'll probably do it. I'm just not sure when she'll be ready to get that out.
Okay, thank you.
Other than that, Brian, there's not been a whole lot going on. I don't really have any more information on the Stevens Mill. That's been kind of on hold for a while. I'm not sure where that stands. I'm assuming everything is going forward on their end. They're trying to get their financing together, but I don't have any specific information on it. The other piece, I think I mentioned this to you before, is that we do have a farmer in town who wants to do some outdoor cultivation of marijuana. The farmer's on Corbin Road, and they'll be coming into town meeting for a zoning change to allow that to happen on her farm. The town will have a host community agreement, which will generate some revenue for the town. So that's, it's an economic development piece. I think it's important to, do whatever we can to preserve agriculture in town. And this is one way for folks to realize some significant revenue from a outdoor growing situation where most marijuana is grown indoors. But this is a way for some farmers to sustain their livelihood. So we'll see what happens. It has to go to town meeting for the approval of the zoning change, which will happen in May, I think. So that's really the only two pieces of information that I have to update right now, Brian.
What's thank you, Bill. What's the Scofield Ave property, the other Stevens Mills site? Did they go in front of the zoning board? And
so I think the one you're referring to is the Chase Ave property.
No, the one on Scofield Ave.
Scofield, okay. So
yeah,
you may recall last year there was a woman named Michaela Mann, who was working with the property owner.
Correct.
And they submitted a citizen's petition, landowner petition to rezone 115 Scofield Ave
Yeah.
to industrial 130, which is the only district where you can have a retail store. That was passed over by town meeting, but she has indicated she wants to come back and try it again this year. I haven't seen anything yet, but
Okay.
it's still early. You may recall she came before the EDC last year to present her project. I assume it's basically the same thing. So we'll take that one in and then, you know, make sure that that gets on the warrant as well.
Okay.
Hey, Brian, I do have an update on video if you want.
Sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So you guys had asked me to, or I had agreed to reach out to Professor Russo at Nichols. Thanks to PJ in the introduction, and you as well, Brian, because I know that you were working with him also. Super nice guy, very open to helping us out. So on or around the 10th of February, I had a conversation with him via Zoom, and we basically I had identified what it was that the board was looking for. And he jumped right in, said, you know, we have a class starting and we would be able to, you know, help you out, no problem. They were looking for a project with a topic, and this, you know, fit in very, very well. And so anyway, we ended the call with a timeline of things that were going to occur. And so on the 16th of February, he was planning to discuss film positions, such as directors, screenwriters, and editors with the class. On the 23rd would be the vision and thought process. And again, he was going to share the information that I had, but ultimately I was going to be the one that was going to share that with the class. On the 4th of March, the storyboard process would start, which that's the way all these videos start, is a kind of a cartoon type video sort of storyboard. And then on the 9th, I would meet with the class and bring them up to speed, which I in fact did. So there were about 25 students that I Zoomed in with, and the professor as well. And I gave them probably a 25 or 30-minute overview on what we were looking to do. Actually, the call ranged about 30 minutes, but I gave them a 15-minute overview. Kind of told them what we were looking to do, the type of videos that we were looking for. And they had some really, really good questions, and I want to share some of those questions with you guys. I did answer them because I wasn't in a position to poll the board and then get back to them. So I gave them, you know, kind of my best answer based on past discussions that we've had regarding our quest and our ultimate goal. And then on the 16th, which is today, I was to get the storyboards back. So each student's responsible for 2 storyboards. And I got 9 groups of storyboards. So I've got about 18 groups, although some of them I wasn't able to open, looked like they maybe saved them incorrectly, but probably 5 or 6 of them I was, and I was able to go through each of them. I had just gotten it this morning, but I did allocate some time and I looked through those. And I'm going to share those with you guys on the screen here, but I'm ultimately going to send them to you. I'm just going to go through probably 3 of them just so that you guys can kind of see conceptually what it is. And then I will send the entire packet to you guys, and you can all have a look and go through them in detail, or as much detail as you want. And then on the, so he wants me to rank, and he wants a review back by Thursday at 8 a.m. So I promised him that I would get back to him, and he also wanted me to critique them. So I'm planning to critique them. I've got 2 that are my favorite that I think really kind of depict exactly what we're looking for, and others didn't quite get the point. And again, maybe I wasn't, didn't communicate well enough, but like I said, I did get two that I think really fit the bill, but I'm really looking for the board's feedback regarding, their thoughts. And then on 3/18 to 3/30 will be a film video. And then 4/1, April 1st through the 8th will be editing video, and essentially we'll have, our video. They've actually talked about, or I had encouraged them to think about this as a series, so if we kind of, get started with, this is the overview of what we're looking for. This is what Dudley's all about. And then we start breaking into, smaller groups, like smaller videos, like maybe, one is farm-based, one is small business-based, another one's large business-based, and any other things that, we want to kind of steer them with, that would be great. The problem, as we all know, that Dudley has are a couple. One is that we don't have a town center. We don't have a downtown that we can call downtown. We've got more like 2 or 3 downtowns. And so makes it difficult. That's the first issue in my eyes. And the second one is we don't have an industrial area, and that's really where, businesses like Gentex and larger organizations, would look at Dudley for, but we just don't have that infrastructure at this point. We've threatened with, rezoning and making things more business-like and industrial and changing zoning, but we're still not there yet. So with this video, we're kind of putting the cart before the horse, in my opinion, but I think it's a good start, and we can start really hammering out, what Dudley's all about, and maybe start to try to attract businesses like the Stave and Still or the Rose Room, or, small breweries, or, whatever, to get started while we don't have the industrial area. But maybe this can segue into encouraging, the town leadership to consider, looking at sites that could be industrial, if we truly want to attract the Gentexes and the Hankey Sass Wolves and those of the world. So anyway, do I have the ability to share my screen, Bill?
Yes, Mark, you do. I made you the host.
Okay. So I'm not sure I know how to, all right.
Down at the bottom, there's a menu at the bottom of the
Yeah, I see that.
Share screen. So you click on that.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So can you guys all see this?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So there's 9 groups here. And as I had said, there's 2 videos in each of them, or in some of them, most of them. But before I show you these, any comments, questions about what I introed so far? Any changes you want to see? Any recommendations?
So just so I understand, Mark, so out of this, you'll pick how many groups, or you'll just rank them and then all of them will work on the video, or what's the, or just 2 of them will create a product for you?
Yeah, so I suspect that the ones that we pick, Professor Russo will probably then point everyone in the direction of the themes of these videos. Even though everybody submitted some, he'll probably say, hey, so these videos are the direction we want to go in. And whether he'll have those that didn't hit that mark resubmit videos, or have everybody start working on these videos from here with their rendition to try to refine them, more for where we want to go. What my thought and the discussion that I had with a number of the students was, what I thought would be beneficial is to have live interviews with folks like our town planner, folks like our town administrator, some businesses. So someone from Hankey Sass Wolf, someone from Gentex, someone from, hey, you know, we've been in Dudley for however many years, and Dudley's been a great partner, and here's why. The other things that we need to start thinking about, you know, as this series progresses is, you know, what sort of benefits is Dudley willing to consider? You know, are there tax incentives? Are there tax benefits? I know that Webster's doing that now with trying to get restaurants in, and quite frankly, it seems to be working pretty well. 2 or 3 restaurants have gone in a pandemic situation, and so they're doing something right. And you know, if we want to attract them, then there has to be full engagement, in my opinion. But
Yes.
But that's a great question, Brian. So anyone else, any other questions before I open these up? Okay, so here's group 1. And it's going to be hard to read, but some of them have actually, this looks like it's a program of some sort. But some of them, so you get basically 6 slides on each of them, and then there's some commentary below. But then if you go down further, you can actually see, so storyboard number 1, you know, is kind of blown up. So this one here is saying in particular, you know, an introduction to Dudley. So there's a text video or voiceover that we'll be covering in the video. We'll be showing Dudley's trails and other attractions. Farming is a huge opportunity for new businesses, and is also a huge part of the community. Show the vast farmland and what is around it. Show the local business within Dudley. This will allow the person to get the sense of what types of competition they would be going up against if they were to start a business in Dudley. Also gives that person the sense of what the community is in need of. Show potential area where new businesses are needed. This will show the buyer where their future business could be located, and will also highlight the area around it. Talk a lot about growth and development into the future. Get some small businesses to talk about Dudley and the potential it has. Getting those shots of businesses throughout the town, glorifying Dudley and talking about what it has to offer will be very appealing to someone looking to start a business in the community. Talk to town administrator. Concluding this video with a video of the town administrator and emphasizing the need for new businesses and other efforts, and the efforts Dudley is putting in to help local businesses and larger companies. So this one I liked, but I didn't love. I think it was I think it's very good. I think it kind of hits on a number of different points. This same group, this is their second video. And what I found is going through these, you know, the theme doesn't change much. The verbiage changes a little bit, so I won't read them all in detail. But again, there's the intro, a brief overview, again, talking about the video, what it's going to say, again, farming, again, local businesses, community services, internships. I asked them to think about Nichols College, the fact that Nichols is, you know, in the community. There are not many small communities like ours that actually have a private college like Nichols, where internships and resources and students, not only for what they can provide or come and work for the business, but also what they spend. Looking into the future, and then a conclusion. But again, I'm not going to read them all. I'm going to send them to you guys so you'll have the ability to look at them. Now, like I said, that first one I liked, but I didn't love it. And now I'll show you the one. There's 2 of them that I actually liked very much. And so that was group 5. And then this one, again, someone didn't save it. I'm guessing didn't save it the right way. So I've actually got to go in, and there's 6 slides here, but they're all individual. So first one I click on is going to give you. So this is a wide shot showing the different buildings and businesses in the area, close-up shot of the map to show location. I think that's super important, showing the, you know, connectivity to 395, and you know, I like that part of it. So backing up, slide 2. A wide shot of the tavern outside, close-up shot of the tavern inside, interview with tavern people. I'm guessing they mean the Black Tavern. Third one is wide shot of schools in Dudley, close-up of the area around the schools, wide shot of location of schools. Wide shot of the farms, close-up of restaurants. Maybe it wasn't this one. It might have been the second one in this group that I liked. And then interview local business owners, interview local farmers, close-up pictures while interviewing. Okay, scan over the businesses in Dudley while having a close-up of an interview. Close-up of interview person talking about support, community support. So this is the area where, you know, maybe there's a discussion about, you know, what sort of incentives Dudley will offer for you to come to town. Wide shot of camera of a big business. So that could be, you know, Gentex, and, you know, maybe even be like a drone type of video where it shows, you know, the footprint of their facility, saying, wow, I can't believe a facility that large would be in Dudley. Small business support. So you get the small, you get the large. Wide shot of the business, close up of interviewee. Wide shot of the center road, intersections, business owners, and impact on students have on local business. I think that's good. The Nichols community. And then a close-up of people we interviewed to see all the benefits being displayed. So that one I liked better than, you know, the group 1. So that was group 5, number 2. And then the other one that I liked very much was group 7. That's here. And then this one, again, doesn't go into a individual, so I've got to kind of blow it up and then see if I can, it's going to be hard to see. I can't get it to move. So we're going to have to look at this, you know, very small, but entering Dudley, entering the town, the schools, the farmland, private college, leaving Dudley. So first slide, camera slowly pans in towards the people walking the street towards Dudley. Camera slowly follows behind the people and spans to the site to show the different shops and activity in Dudley. The third, the camera passes towards, camera pans towards the school and the kids entering the school. Number 4, the camera pans in towards the farmland and the 2 guests talking about how farms, about all the farms that they have seen. 5th one, the camera pans towards Nichols College to show the students and the private college in Dudley. And then the last one, camera pans towards 395's site to show how close Dudley is to 395 and the and major highways. I think that's a good one. And let's see, one last one here. Again, entering Dudley, seeing the business owners, asking to interview businesses, asking how Dudley helps, closing thoughts, thanking business owner. Camera slowly pans throughout the town buildings. Number 2, camera shows students, then moves to a business owner. Number 3, camera focuses on interview. Again, continuing with the interview, and then leaves the interviewer. So again, I will share all of these with you guys, but that's kind of the update that I have. The questions that I have are, who should we interview? You know, are you guys in agreement that we, I was thinking that we interview townspeople, we interview business people, we interview ag committee chairperson, we interview town planner, town administrator, selectmen. So that's kind of open. The other questions I have, let's see. Yeah, that was really the, that was the one thing. And then if there's anything that you want me to have them focus more on, and if you're in agreement with the ones that I had interest in, but you guys will have to see them all before, you can answer that question. So.
Wow.
Mark, one thought would be, maybe to discuss some of the infrastructure in town, the water and sewer systems that industries and businesses might be interested in terms of knowing where the lines are and the capacity that's available for them.
That's interesting, Bill, but isn't that a sore spot for us?
Well, I don't know. Just a thought to, see what we could, how we would handle that. Maybe better to be, forthright rather than to hide it. So we could talk about how we would approach that subject. Yeah,
I think that's more of, so if there's a moratorium right now on water, which I don't know whether there is or isn't, but depending on the month, that changes, right? But I would imagine that the town administrator and the selectmen would certainly look at making an exception for a large business that's coming to town that needs water access or that would expect water access. I just didn't want to tout it, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a great idea. I guess I make an assumption that if we're soliciting businesses to come to town, that we have water and sewer to share, but.
Mark, thank you for all that. I mean,
Yeah.
That's a lot of work on your shoulders right now, but I know the professor and the students appreciate having a real world interaction. And I think, they do a pretty good job over there under Professor Russo. So I think they'll have a good product in the end. But I appreciate the extra effort you've made here. But I think as a first initial video, this hits what we wanted to hit, doesn't it? Like a couple intros, it talks about the farming, it talks about the location, the potential in town, and then hopefully that's something it's an idea that can build off of there.
And Mark, you said you need to contact Professor Russo by Thursday this week.
Yeah, I need to kind of get back to him and say, hey, we like, the board likes videos, 5 and 7, 5 part 2 and 7 part 1 or whatever. And, those, we kind of rank them. You guys will probably find the same thing as you go through them. A lot of them kind of hit the same. They tried to be, everything they tried to cover every single thing in the first video. And I really like, I think that this first series needs to be, hey, this is Dudley. It's a beautiful, bedroom community. But don't be deceived by the fact that it's a small bedroom community. We're close to 395.
1 second.
We're close to 395 and, this and that. And so, and I think that's really what 5 and 7 do, in my opinion. But yeah, we'd like to get back to them with some sort of ranking, about what that looks like. So they can start to focus on those things. But, you can also say, hey, I like 5 and 7, but would really like for, 5 and 7 to include, this piece or that piece or whatever. How about who we interview? I mean, are we all in agreement about, who should be interviewed? I know when Joanne originally took this project on, she was talking about, you know, having a bank. But I mean, my feeling is that the limitations of Dudley are not because someone can't get financing, and for them to you know, see a video on the fact that there are banks in Dudley, it's not going to change anything, you know. And I mean, you're in the banking, Todd, and you know, I know that she originally started talking to you, or we started talking to you about it, and I certainly don't want to, you know, discount that, and that could be one of the series. But I just think initially we need to let everybody know who Dudley is, where it is, the fact that we have space for them to come and you know, put their business. And if they put their business there and it's a business that's needed in the town, they will prosper.
I couldn't agree more. I think that, yeah, I mean, that would be another, like, if this is going to be a series, like you said, which I think is a brilliant idea, you know, talking, like having interviews, like the Hanky Sass Wolf, you know, getting in front of maybe the head person over there, and, you know, Gentex, but also the small businesses, especially, you know, any of the, you know, the coffee shop that opens up, the, you know, all these other little folks that, you know, that's much more important. And even like some of these folks that are, you know, I mean, my guess is there's a lot of folks that might not have storefronts right now that are doing a lot of work. You know, they work out of their house. You know, any type of small business person, that's huge. And then maybe even, you know, when you talk about the educational piece, you know, maybe there's a way to talk to either the superintendent or maybe one of the principals of the school. You know, maybe to, you know, when dealing with the kids, you know, shots of, you know, Dudley Little League, you know, other different, you know, things that go on in Dudley. And then, of course, you know, Nichols, I mean, huge. So I think focusing on all those things right out of the gate, because, you know, that's what people want. They want to know, okay, what's going on, and you know, what is it about? Just like you said, it's a small bedroom community, but guess what? You wouldn't believe that in this small bedroom community, it's a really cool place to live. There's, you know, things to do, and there's opportunities and all that stuff. So I think the banks and everything, that can be, you know, another piece down the road. I agree. So I would think that, yeah, if we could have, I mean, this whole thing is gonna, you know, it's right out of the gate. It's just like you want to almost like the couple of those first like board pieces where it's just like, okay, here you are, you're coming in to Dudley. You're gonna hit a few places, and then you're, you know, you're leaving showing, okay, hey, how centrally located we are and how quickly. I mean, Dudley is an hour to Boston, a few hours to New York City, an hour to, you know, Providence. I mean, it's so centrally located, you know, and it's just maybe a lot of people don't know that. So yeah, I would say, yeah, I think, and I can't thank you enough, Mark. This obviously was a lot of work in getting in touch with everybody. So, and this is like, I think the biggest, most progress that I think we've seen in, you know, once we started it. I mean, I know we had COVID and everything like that, but this is huge, and I'm excited to see where this goes. And if you need any help on this, working with those students and things like that, let me know. Because I mean, I'll go through and look at the different slides, but you know, and I'd love to see what everybody else thinks. But just the two that you had shown us seemed very, very good. And so that's.
Yeah, the only thing I urge, you know, and I tried to focus on this when I was talking to the students, is I tried to give them all the characteristics of the town so that they got, you know, because some of them have not even been on campus. They were all Zooming, so I don't know where they were from. I don't know, you know, what year they were in or whatever. They could have been in a variety of different, you know, levels of their college, you know, college education. But so I kind of painted a picture of Dudley. I gave them my bio. I told them the things that I'm involved in. I told them that I've been on the planning board and that I'm in economic development. I told them what I do for a living, you know, the fact, you know, what I love about Dudley and what I don't like about Dudley, and just gave a full perspective. So they had all that information prior to coming on the call. So they knew, you know, that the information I shared with them is not my opinion. It's literally, you know, factual. Certainly some was my opinion, but it's, you know, when I tell them I've experienced this or that, then it's qualified. But what I urge us to think about is, yeah, so Shepherd Hill, it's a great school, you know, but the fact that I don't think we're looking for people to locate here, I'm not sure that we have the infrastructure on a school standpoint or on a housing standpoint where we could take on 5,000 families, you know. So I shared that with them. I said, we need to be real careful about, you know, is this a message to attract people to come and live in Dudley? Or is it a message to attract businesses to come in Dudley? And
True.
It's a message to attract businesses to come in Dudley, not for people to live here. However, if you're going to have a business and you want to live in Dudley, sure, that's great. But I don't want the focus. My feeling is, in my opinion is, I don't want the focus of the video to be, hey, come and live in Dudley. It's great. And oh, by the way, while you're here, start a business.
Yeah.
Bring a business here. And if you want to live somewhere else, you can, because remember, it's easy to get here, you know, that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that would, yeah, no, first, thanks, Mark. Yeah, this is, thanks for picking this up and really running with it in a short period of time. Yeah, that would be my comment. My comment would be the theme that I would like, or my opinion is, the video series should be to show whoever you interview, the theme is their support. How are you going to portray that interview with those people talking on how they perceive the promotion of bringing business to town? So if, you know, the Board of Selectmen, why did the Board of Selectmen open up this EDC, Economic Development Committee, right? There's a reason. It's a commitment to grow business in town, right? It is those actions that speak volumes much larger than some, other, I'm just saying, to me and to somebody on the outside, putting that architecture together on really what has Dudley done, what is the commitment from the top down in the town to show what actions have they done to really show the promotion of bringing business to town. I think if you can focus, or we can focus on that, I think we can put together, a great series in interviews to express that, because, the Board of Selectmen, the town administrator, they all have a thought on their daily activities and what they actually do, and the reason why they do it must have some input on the growth and promotion of businesses in town. And it's that kind of discussion that, interviews that would speak volumes, I think, to people on the outside of the town.
Yeah.
And, we were just talking, and Kerry was on here last month or the month before talking about how plugged in we are to get grants. That is a commitment of the town level. Bill and his group, this group, submitting and, for grants, businesses, and, the work PJ outreach to small businesses will let them know on what funding's available for small businesses. Those are real actions that this town is taking to help businesses. And that speaks large, huge volumes to people on the outside looking in, and we should tout that. We should be proud of that. That is the stuff we're all thinking about, how we can help our local businesses. But it all starts in the ecosystem of the town and what we've done, and then obviously the people who are participating in making sure that we are putting our best foot forward possibly for small businesses in town. And that would be my comment. And I think, if it helps, great. But so.
If I could add just one thing, I think, in looking at this and knowing the scope of what's probably happening in the classroom, if this becomes a series, I think each semester you would work on a different set of videos for the series. It's not all going to be one and done between now and the end of May right here.
Right.
If you had to prioritize the very first video, I think the planner, the administrator, and maybe just one or two snippets from a business that we might get into later on that just shows that support. But we need, you know, if you only ever had one video out of this entire thing, that intro video, we're here to support you, here's what we want, why we want you here, is the most important one you can have. If you get too much, it'll lose its
get
focus.
watered down.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then there's there's always opportunity, because I mean that class happens every single semester. So having a real life opportunity is huge for these students. But let's not make it too muddied right now. Let's focus and prioritize, right?
So here's what I'm hearing, because I want to give Professor Russo some good feedback. And again, I'm going to wait for your comments, certainly after looking at these, if you can. And I'm going to send them to the entire group, and maybe attached to that, Bill, you can send a recording of this meeting so that if they have any questions or misunderstandings about why they're receiving these videos, they can watch this meeting. But so the objective, or the objective of the video is, you know, why should I bring business to the town of Dudley? And then the attributes to that would be town incentives. So water, sewer, the fact that we have a very low tax rate, and the fact that our tax rate is a uni-tax rate, right? It's not a business and a residential, it's all one tax rate. And then ease of access. So big businesses here, and we show, you know, a picture of, you know, the aerial or something of Gentex. And then, so big businesses here, why aren't you? And then small business in town, and we can list a whole bunch of, you know, different companies. Aerial, I'm not going to do it justice, but maybe we, you know, we can pan some different businesses, and, you know, why aren't you here? And then, you know, maybe a conclusion, need more information, and then the interviews. So, yeah, that's, I mean, that's the sense I'm getting from the group here. So, and that's what I'll kind of share with Professor Russo.
Yeah.
But again, I will wait for your feedback, and yeah, so see what happens from here.
Yep.
Thank
Thanks,
you much.
Mark.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And yeah, it just opened up the door, right? Now the video series, you know, and the engagement with that group, you know, will go on from here. And no, that's exciting. All right. Anything else from anybody?
Mark, can you make me the host again?
Oh.
Do you have your participants pane open?
Yeah, did that work? I just said anyone can share, or?
You're still the host, so you need to click on My Town of Dudley.
I don't know where is that, Bill?
Do you have, at the bottom of the screen, there's
Yeah.
something called Participants.
Yep.
If you open that up, there's a pane, you'll see Town of Dudley. And then if you click on the more, the three little dots, if you see that more, you'll be able to make me the host.
Got it.
Good,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. So again, I appreciate everybody coming today, and you know, good discussion. And again, you know, please stay tuned. We're probably going to have to, well, most likely, high probability, we're going to have another one of these meetings, you know, next week, or, you know, shortly thereafter. So hope, you know, we'll try to be flexible with everybody's schedule, but please, you know, try try to work with us and try to make yourselves available if at all possible, so we can get this thing going. And that's all I would ask. And, it's, myself included, try to be there. Right. So.
It's exciting stuff though.
Yeah,
All right.
no, yeah, everybody's got the presentation, you go through it. And if you got any questions, come prepared. We can ask Kerry, and obviously Bill's been studying this stuff. So Bill's a great resource as well if you have any questions. But with that said, let's call it a day. Does anybody want to make a motion here?
So moved.
All right.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So, meeting adjourned, 11:31 a.m. Thank you very much, and
Bye, everyone.
we'll talk soon, okay? Thank you,
Okay,
Bill.
thank you.
Day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.